Hey everybody, it's Joe Richardson here. I want to talk about Jake Fromm and his career at Georgia, and not really stats or anything, but just, you know, how awesome he did his 3 years. Of course, his freshman season, he had Sonny Michelle and Nick Chubb to hand the ball to. That kind of gave him an advantage somewhat without having to do too much as a freshman. Which he still put up good numbers. I mean, he did. But Sonny and Michelle were both 1,000+ yard rushers, so that helped him out tremendously. And yeah, there are stupid fans who are talking about Fromm not being great. Well, he was a fifth round draft pick by the Buffalo Bills, who already have a starting QB, so he may be a career backup and he may not last long. He may actually be a long time career backup. Some quarterbacks do stay backup for a long time, while others are out of the league in a couple of years or so. Sometimes not even a year, but if Jake Fromm can teach Josh Allen how to make better decisions, then hey, maybe Jake does belong in the league as a backup to help as a starter do better, which is something Josh Allen probably struggles with, is who to throw the ball to when. Whereas Fromm made good decisions a lot of the time in college. But I just don't like Fromm put up good stats. Now he did have a little bit of a down year last season, but you gotta think he didn't have enough receiver help. I mean, Cager was his only experienced receiver that transferred from Miami to Georgia, and he had a legit injury that sidelined him, and that's probably why he went undrafted, is because of the injury that kept him out a lot of the season. But when Cager was healthy, he was really good, and I believe he could make it into the league as an undrafted wide receiver. But Fromm at least did get drafted, while there were players that probably could have been drafted outside of Fromm that didn't get drafted. Warner surprisingly did get drafted, but the focus here is Jake Fromm. It's great that Fromm got drafted, but yeah, people thought Fields should have been starting over Fromm. Well, why didn't Fields learn the doggone playbook? And why did he act like he was in a panic just to run when he couldn't find the number one receiver to throw to? He could have scanned for his options like Fromm does, but no, Fields was too stupid to not know what to do and would just take off. Which I think he did a little bit of that at Ohio State, which is a totally different offense from what Georgia was. I mean, Fields picked up the playbook at Ohio State a lot better than he did Georgia's. But I mean, come on, guys. Fromm did really good. His sophomore year was actually good, and people still gave him heck. And I didn't like that. I took up for him a lot during his sophomore year. Junior year, his junior year in college. I didn't take up for him as like I should have. I just didn't want to get involved with people I don't know, because I do think some people are stupid not to give Fromm credit where it's due. But he had a lot of his junior year. He just had a lot of inexperience at receiver. I mean, George Pickens sometimes showed that he could get it done, and then other times not. The ball game, George Pickens showed that he might be the emerging star. Yeah. So, if Fromm decided to leave early, well, we got a grad transfer QB coming in anyways. I don't know if Fromm had to leave or if it was just he wanted to leave. I mean, I'm sure I don't think he should have left early, but if that quarterback was coming in, that probably gave Fromm no choice. But you never know, it could have been that Kirby was looking for a replacement if Fromm was to leave. Maybe not, maybe it wasn't no had to leave. option for Fromm. But maybe him being healthy his first 3 years at quarterback, he probably didn't want to risk injury as a senior if he was to be the starter. And Newman didn't ever transfer to Georgia. But at least Newman will be a dual threat QB. If there is football season, he'll play and hopefully contribute something if he is the guy, which I believe he will be if there is football. And AJ Pollock predicts Newman will be a first round draft pick. That's a little too early to tell. But Fields and Lawrence most likely. Well, Fields, he couldn't beat up Fromm. Was it Kirby? People saying Kirby making the wrong call. Fromm had the experience and could do things that Fields couldn't do. I mean, Fields could run, yeah, and Fromm couldn't. But as far as throwing the ball, Fromm was good at that. And he had a good record as a starter. He couldn't beat Alabama, but he did play well against Alabama, despite what some may say. I just think some people just need to shut the crap up about Fromm. Stop being negative. I mean, seriously. If you follow the Georgia pages and you see people being negative about Fromm, you should take action and say, no, Fromm was good. Fromm may have had a little bit of a down year as a junior because of the inexperience at wide receiver, and the tight ends weren't thrown to very much, and I don't understand that either. Maybe the new OC will get it under control with the tight ends. But I love Fromm. I mean, I thought he was great, and I didn't want him to leave early, but if it was what was best for him and his family, then he may have made what he thought was the right move. But career backup, probably so. But guys, I love Jake Fromm. If you're my friend and you don't think Jake Fromm is that great, we're gonna have problems, and I'm open to what you have to say. I really am. Just talk. If you don't agree with me about Fromm, just talk to me. I'll let you know straight up how I feel. If this video doesn't already tell you how much I feel about Fromm, I think he was great, and I just don't know why some people find him not so great. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have the strong arm. That's what Copper even mentioned, and he's not always right on everybody, but I mean, Fromm could eventually turn into a starter, or he may just be a career backup. We don't know. But I mean, the Bills are probably going to be one of the teams running that AFC division without Tom Brady in it anymore. The AFC East, I think that's what division they're in. But yeah, without Tom Brady in it, Josh Allen and the Bills could be the team that emerges. And the Dolphins would too, possibly, but I don't know. Year one might be too early to call that. But yeah, I love Jake Fromm. I'm really gonna miss him at Georgia. But yeah, I just wish I could tell the fans how dumb they are for being negative about Fromm. I just don't like that at all. So, anyways, that's what all I have to say. He put up good numbers, even with the completion percentage down as a junior. He still threw more touchdowns than interceptions. So he still had good running backs. It's just Coley being our offensive coordinator, and Chaney some too. The play calling was iffy at times with Fromm there, so maybe that changes. So I love you guys, and please don't take it personal, but I don't like people talking about Jake Fromm, and I just thought everybody needed to know. Goodbye.